If you've ever, things like Phantom 309 and Teddy Bear and all those songs, they all had strong stories behind them. And today, that's what we're playing on the Road Show. So join us on the Road Show. We're about to get things started. I'm going to be signing off of our Instagram, and I'm going to be signing off of our Facebook because we can't play any music on there. But we are certainly going to be doing that today. So thanks for joining us. Make sure that you join us on go to leadpedalradio.com, click on Listen Live, or if you're on Mixcloud, you can see us there. And let's get this party started, shall we? We're going to start off with Convoy. Now, Convoy, well, of course, was done in 1975, and it's such a great song. It was done by C.W. McCall. He created the CB slang. If you ever saw him do this on stage, he actually did it with a CB radio on stage. Song went to number one on both the country and pop charts after that, and Breaker One became one of the biggest things. Then, of course, Eastbound and Down came out after Convoy and all that stuff. So, this one.
Breaker One,
Hey, Brian.
You never know what's going to happen next.
They always are coming up with new stuff, new twists.
The craziest stuff happens on that show.
It keeps me laughing.
You're listening to Lead Pedal Radio, music for people behind the wheel.
Well, listen up, Pilgrim. If you think for 1 minute I'm going to fill my ears with some cockamamie radio show that's geared for steering wheel holders, you got it all wrong. You got it all wrong, Pilgrim. Where I come from, we stand on the pedal, the lead pedal. And since you haven't learned to respect your elders, it's time you learn to respect your betters.
Another great soundbite by Mike Murchison. He's a trucker himself. All right, this next song here, I think it's got to be one of the most popular. Get your tissues out for this one here. This one's Teddy Bear by Red Sovine. Sad song about a young paraplegic boy whose father, truck driver, was killed on the road. And of course, Teddy Bear and the rest of the industry comes to the rescue. It made a famous in country music singer, released it in 1976, Red Sovine. The song was title track to Sovine's album, released of the same name. And of course, we've got Giddy Up Go. We're going to play. Minnie Pearl did one. Truck Driving Son of a Gun. Radar. A whole bunch of them came out of this one. So let's start off with a little Teddy Bear, shall we? Here we go. This one here is another one by Red Sovine. This one's called Little Joe, and it's about getting a dog that became his eyes. Here we go.
Little Joe.
I don't know how he got through a concert. How did Red Sovine get through a concert? Like, either everybody in the audience must have been crying or he was crying. I don't know. Anyway, hey, you know what? This next song here is by a Canadian singer-songwriter that's passed away, Stompin' Tom Connors. You guys knew this. Of course, he sang a lot about the trucking industry, and one of his favorites was Bud the Spud song. The song is an account of a trucker who hauls potatoes from Prince Edward Island, which I did. I hauled PEI. when I worked for Midland, I had to haul potatoes from PEI back to Moncton. Take the boat. That's what before the bridge. They had a ferry back then. Contrary to what believed entirely, Bud the Spud is not actually a song about an anthropomorphic song. I don't even know what that is. He released a song in 1969. It's an account of a trucker who hauls potatoes. So let's get in. Here's the live version for you.
I'm sorry,
It's a famous one from Mr. Stompin' Tom Connors. One of my favorites for sure. That's the live version of Bud the Spud.
Tom Connors right there. He'll be right back in just a while with another show.
And there you go. There you go. Okay, this other one here has been a staple in the trucking industry forever, and it talks about the amount of time people are on the road. 6 days on the road is not abnormal in the trucking industry, and this one's an old Dave Dudley classic. Here we go. Most famous. Other than Red Sovine's Teddy Bear, I think this one here is the most famous for anybody. This one's called Phantom 309, written by Tommy Fail and released as a single by Red Sovine in 1967. The song tells of a hitchhiker that gets into a truck, and the truck is kind of a ghost, if you will. It's a haunting, and it tells the story of a hitchhiker being picked up by a trucker, Big Joe, and his rig. It's an interesting story, but he speaks most of it. Anyway, here we go, a little Phantom 309.
Phantom 309.
That's right. Probably one of the best story songs ever right there. Phantom 309. This next one's got to be one of my favorites. I just love it. And the thing is, it's Gimme 40 Acres to turn this rig around by the Willis Brothers, released in 1964. It was the first single from their album Gimme 40 Acres, and the song peaked at number 9 on the Billboard Hot Country Singles chart. Now, it says if you've ever tried to back a 53-footer tractor trailer and got stuck in a tight spot, you'll know exactly what this song's about. And I remember those days when they went from 48-foot trailers to 53-foot trailers. And I had a long Peterbilt at that time. And I remember getting into a truck stop. I think I was in Arkansas or something. And I pulled into the lane, and my truck stuck out the front. My truck stuck out the back. And I remember the first couple times being in New Jersey trying to back into some of those tight little docks that they have there and thinking about this song. So I totally relate to Give Me 40 Acres So I Can Turn This Rig Around. One of my favorites for sure by the Willis Brothers. Give me 40 acres and I'll turn this rig around. Okay, this next one is my absolute favorite. I know they're all my favorites. I just love trucking tunes. Don't you love them? Don't you love them? Oh man, the CDs I used to have of trucking tunes, just play them over and over and over and over and over again. And yeah, you can hear it on Sirius or whatever, but here we play them because we love them. All right, so Eastbound and Down, of course, you guys know the movie. 1977 is when it came out. Jerry Reed wrote this, I think, overnight. And think about the money he's made on this. And if you've ever seen him do this on stage, he's in stocks feet. He's sitting with his feet up on a chair. Anyway, Jerry Reed and Deanna K. Rose wrote this, recorded Reed for the soundtrack, the film Smokey and the Bandit, of course. And the song features Reed on the lead vocal and vocalist Gordon Stoker of the Jordanaires on the harmony vocal. Released in August 1977 as a single on RCA Records. And revered by many as the best song ever written about the truck driving industry. And it was recorded, of course, for Eastbound and Down. And truly, what trucking song could be better? I just love this. And of course, it tells the story of trying to get Coors beer back to Atlanta. Here we go. Eastbound and Down by Jerry. For sure. There we go. A little Eastbound and Down. This next song here was one of my favorites as well. And it talks about, I know this for a fact that a lot of truck drivers, when they retire, they don't stop the road. The road is in you. It's like, it's the best thing you can do. But they want to do it on their dime, right? Whenever they're, no dispatch, no rushing to get to the next city, no rushing to pick up a load, no waiting around when you want to get going. They just want to do it on their dime. And this one here, 18 Wheels and a Dozen Roses by Kathy Mattea, talks about exactly that, about a driver who finally, after 30 years on the road, is getting time, going to buy a motorhome and just cruise on down the road, of course. The song was written by Paul Nelson, Gene Nelson, and sung by Kathy Mattea. It was released in March of 1988 as a second single from her album Untasted Honey, and hit #1 in both the U.S. and Canadian charts in 1988 for sure. Really a great song. And here we go. 18 Wheels and a Dozen Roses, Kathy Mattea.
Radio. Music for people behind the wheel.